We've fished 6 48-hour matches on Walthamstow 1. We've managed to win 4 of those from 4 different pegs. We've come third from a peg that we've managed to come first in as well, and we've had a 5th from a not so fancied peg. The draw is very important when it comes to match fishing, because literally you can do all the preparation in the world, have all the bait in the world, but you still got to get a half tidy bit of water. It's not so much getting the best peg, but as long as you've got a half decent peg, then you can work with the water you've got. So normally if you come out in the top half, we're normally generally happy. You don't want to have numerous different rigs and confuse yourself, because literally you have got that limited water, 48 hours, and so you want to have 1 or 2 rigs that you know works, a particular bait that works, and just stick to it. We've fished this place many a times now, and we know what works. We've got 1 or 2 rigs that we favour. We just try and stick to that, and because we just find if you're constantly changing your rigs and that's what you should be doing previous to the matches in practice. That's because you want to make that 48 hours count, and you need to be catching as many fish. You don't want to think, oh, 6 hours into it, I'm going to change and try some rig that you've never fished on the venue before. I'm here today practicing. Unfortunately, Jamie couldn't make it today, but as long as always one of us practices, and like I said, even though we'd like to think we know this venue quite well, before any match, regardless wherever it is in the country, at least one of us always practice. I think that's so crucial. Even if it's just a day, like today is just a day session, and we try and do it as close as we can to the match. I mean, there's some matches, like there's no point practicing 2-3 months before, because the weather conditions are going to be totally different to the day of the match. So today is 2 days before the match, as close as I can physically do. And now is the perfect opportunity to any little tweaks that I need to do, any particular swims that I need to sort of have another look at, or maybe get the distance around the sticks, and I'm jotting it all down today, and I'm tweaking any little rigs and making sure all my bait's accurate, so as soon as the match starts I can tell Jamie how I got on, and he does vice versa if I wasn't here, and then we can just hopefully get a good peg and we can crack on and fish from the off. As for rigs on Walthamstow 1, we keep the rigs very simple. There's nothing too complicated about them, just standard pop-up rigs, fishing tight to the island. As long as you're fishing over a bed of bait, we've found that works well on here. We've definitely found that certain hook baits and colours on Walthamstow is a must. Yellow being our favourite, and we find that pink works really well. So obviously if yellow died off a bit, then we'd swap over to pink. But to be honest, 99% of the time, as long as you've got a bright yellow hook bait out there, they just love it, they home in on it. Preparation is very important when it comes to match fishing. As I mentioned earlier, you get 48 hours in that one particular swim. You've got the 2 of you, and you want to be catching as many fish as you can. So particular times on some matches, you can get double, treble takes. So that's leaving 1 rod in the water. If you're unprepared and you haven't got rigs ready, then you're fishing 1 rod for maybe the next hour whilst you're tying rigs and putting leaders on your rods and whatever. So you've just wasted 1 hour of your 48 hours when people next door may have just nicked another 2-3 fish. So preparation is always important, because rigs are always going to be getting used. Spare leg cord leaders, spare solid bags, anything that you think you could pre-tie, or even prepping bait before a match is so vital, because that's going to help you without even if it just gains a minute. If you do that over the course of 48 hours, that's a lot of fish that you could have gained in that time, where normally in general fishing you might have a bite, then go and photo the fish, but that's different. As soon as the fish is landed, we're getting a rod straight back out. We're wasting no time at all. The attitude of just motoring on and just plodding along for the 48 hours you've got has definitely helped us in plenty of matches. In particular, it's won us a good few matches as well, where you've got in the peg thinking your spirit's a bit low, thinking, oh, we're not drawing the best peg, it's not got no track record of doing much, and you think you'll be happy to come mid-table. We've plodded along, worked together as a team, as we always do, fished how we know that's going to get us bites, and we've actually gone ahead and won matches like that, and it actually makes it nicer to win a match that way than to actually get a flyer and win it.